State for Tourism and Sports, Shipping and Waterways of India, Shri Shripad Yesso Naik ji, Honorable Minister of State for Tourism and Defence, Shri Ajay Bhatt ji, His Excellency Shri Zurab Polorikashvili, Secretary General UNWTO, Honorable Ministers and Heads of Delegation from G20 member countries, guest countries and international organizations, Ms. Julia Simpson, President and CEO WTTC. Excellencies, it's my privilege to extend a very warm welcome to all the esteemed G20 ministers and heads of delegations gathered here today for the G20 Ministerial meeting. We have successfully conducted 4 tourism working group meetings, during which tourism experts from G20 member countries, guest countries, and international organizations have paved the way forward to tourism growth in sync with Sustainable Development Goals. Under India's G20 presidency, the primary focus is to make tourism sector sustainable, resilient, and action-oriented. All the tourism working group participants discussed, deliberated, and guided the course of action for further development of local, national, and global tourism. Excellencies, I am pleased to announce that our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, has sent a video message for the esteemed gathering of ministers and heads of delegations who have gathered here. May I now request the video to be played?
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar. I welcome you all to Incredible India. As tourism ministers handling a sector worth over $2 trillion globally, it is rare that you get a chance to be a tourist yourself, but you are in Goa, a major tourist attraction in India. So, I urge you to take out some time from your serious discussions to explore the natural beauty and the spiritual side of Goa. Excellencies, our ancient scriptures have a saying, Atithi Devo Bhava, meaning guest is God. And that is our approach to tourism. Our tourism is not just about sightseeing. It is an immersive experience. Whether it is music or food, art or culture, the diversity of India is truly majestic. From the high Himalayas to dense forests, from the dry deserts to beautiful beaches, from adventure sports to meditation retreats, India has something for everyone. During our G20 presidency, we are organizing nearly 200 meetings in 100 different locations all over India. If you ask your friends who have already visited India for these meetings, I'm sure that no two experiences will be alike. Excellencies, in India, our efforts in this sector are centered on preserving our rich heritage and at the same time creating world-class infrastructure for tourism. One of our focus area is on developing spiritual tourism. After all, India attracts pilgrims of every major religion of the world. After the infrastructure upgrade, the eternal city of Varanasi, just one of the major spiritual centers, now attracts 70 million pilgrims, a tenfold increase from earlier. We are also creating new tourist attractions such as the Statue of Unity. As the tallest statue in the world, it attracted about 2.7 million people within a year after it was built. In the last 9 years, we have placed special emphasis on developing the entire ecosystem of tourism in the country. From transport infrastructure to the hospitality sector, to skill development, and even our visa systems, we have kept the tourism sector as a focal point of our reforms. The hospitality sector has great potential for employment generation, social inclusion, and economic progress. It employs more women and youth compared to many other sectors. I am glad we are also recognizing the relevance of tourism sector for speedy achievements of sustainable development goals. Excellencies, you are working on 5 interconnected priority areas of green tourism, digitalization, skill development, tourism MSMEs, and destination management. These priorities reflect Indian as well as the global South's priorities. We should make greater use of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and augmented reality to drive innovation. For example, in India, we are working on using artificial intelligence to enable real-time translation of the wide range of languages spoken in India. I believe that collaboration among governments, entrepreneurs, investors, and academia can accelerate such technology implementation in tourism. We should also work together to help our tourism companies increase their access to finance, ease business regulations, and invest in skill development. Excellencies, it is said that terrorism divides, but tourism unites. Indeed, tourism has the potential to unite people from all walks of life, creating a harmonious society. I am happy to note that a G20 tourism dashboard is being developed in partnership with UNWTO. It will bring together best practices, case studies, and inspiring stories. It will be a first of its kind platform and will be your enduring legacy. I hope that your deliberations and the Goa roadmap would multiply our collective efforts to realize tourism's transformative power. The motto of India's G20 presidency, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future, can itself be a motto for global tourism. Excellencies, India is a land of festivals. We have festivals around the year, all over the country. In Goa, the San Juo festival is coming up soon. But there is another festival that you must visit, the festival of democracy in the mother of democracy. Next year, India will hold its next general election. For over a month, nearly 1 billion voters will be celebrating this festival, reaffirming their abiding faith in democratic values. With more than 1 million voting booths, there will be no shortage of places for you to witness this festival in all its diversity. I invite you all to visit India for this most important of global festivals. And with that invitation, I wish you all success in your deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. I would now like to invite the Honorable Union Minister for Tourism, Culture and Development of Northeastern Region, Government of India, to chair the G20 Tourism Ministers meeting. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, one and all. First, on behalf of G20 Ministers meeting, I thanks my Prime Minister inspirational message. Honorable Minister of State for Tourism and Port, Shipping and Waterways of India, Sri Sripadanayak ji. Honorable Minister of State for Tourism and Defence, Sri Ajay Bhatt. His Excellency, Mr. Jura Pololi Kashvili, Secretary General, United Nations World Tourist Organization, Srimati Vidyavatji, Secretary, Tourism Government of India, Honorable Ministers, Heads of Delegation from G20 members countries, guest countries, and all the international organizations, Excellencies, it is with a great pleasure I extend warm welcome to all the tourism ministers and heads of delegations from G20 member countries, guest countries, and international organizations. I hope you are enjoying your stay here in Goa. Excellencies, just now my Prime Minister in message, he expressed the theme of India's G20 presidency, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It means one earth, one family, one future, is drawn from the ancient Indian Sanskrit. Excellencies, before we proceed further, I would like to take a moment to appreciate and captivating beauty of the Indian state that hosts us in today in Goa. This enchanting destination has long been a magnet for tourists from around the world, offering a blend of natural splendor, architectural wonders, and warm hospitality. Excellencies, as we gather here in this beautiful sitting in service as a reminder of the transformative power of tourism. It is here the captivating charm of Goa that we come together to discuss and shape the future of our global tourism industry. Excellencies, I would like to highlight the significant achievements that have transferred under the tourism working group during the India's G20 presidency. The issues note of the tourism working group identify the 5 priorities which we are discussing morning onwards: green tourism, digitalization, skills, tourism MSMEs, and destination management, which were endorsed during the first tourism working group meeting. The second tourism working group meeting witnessed insightful presentations by G20 member countries, shedding light on their contributions to the 5 priority areas. During our third meeting, we had extensive discussions on the second draft of the Goa roadmap. I am happy to share that during the fourth tourism working group meeting yesterday, both the outcome documents of G20 tourism working group were welcomed. Excellencies, Ministry of Tourism organized a series of events on sidelines of the meeting of tourism working group site in India. These events have been instrumental in promoting sustainable and diverse tourism experiences. We have explored various themes such as rural tourism, archaeological tourism, adventure tourism, film tourism, ecotourism, cuisine tourism. We have been supported by UNWTO, UNEP, Adventure Travel and Tourism Association, Cruise Line International Association, CII, FICCI, FICCI, and FAITH, and other important associations. Excellencies, at this moment occasion, I would like to acknowledge the importance of Goa roadmap for tourism as a vehicle for achieving sustainable development goals. Building on the work done by their presidencies and in line with objectives of India's G20 presidency, the Goa roadmap places a strong emphasis on supporting creation of a safer, healthier, more sustainable and equitable future while taking into account national circumstances, needs, priorities. Excellencies, the cornerstone of our collective endeavors in the Goa roadmap, which serves as a comprehensive framework for achieving the sustainable development goals through tourism. The document enlists key findings from a survey conducted among G20 members and guest countries, underscoring the significant relationship between tourism and the sustainable development goals. The Goa roadmap also thrown light on promoting tourist-led actions for responsible congestion in line with the Travel for Life program of the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, to help achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. A set of 10 cross-cutting key enablers identified in Goa roadmap document provide a fundamental understanding of how to harness tourism to improve sustainable development goals, progress on address G20 priority areas. Excellencies, the document features case studies emphasizing best practices and advances in place among G20 members and guest countries with regard to the 5 identified key priority areas of the Goa roadmap. Allow me to shed light on Travel for Life incorporated in the Goa roadmap, which is based on our Prime Minister's visionary initiative, Mission Life, urging individuals to act to protect the environment against the effects of climate change. Travel for Life aims to nudge visitors and tourism businesses to adopt sustainable practices and contribute to the preservation of natural and cultural heritage. We extend our deepest gratitude to all the G20 member countries, guest countries, and international organizations for their invaluable contributions to the development and finalization of Goa roadmap for tourism. I would also like to appreciate the efforts of our knowledge partner, UNWTO, and their constant support in co-creating the Goa roadmap. Excellencies, we are all aware of the immense significance of the G20 and its role in global governance. The G20 brings together the world's leading economies to address key challenges and promote sustainable, balanced, and inclusive growth. Through our collective efforts, we can harness the power of tourism to accelerate progress towards the sustainable development goals, ensuring that no one is left behind. Thank you once again, all the excellencies. Jai Hind. Excellencies, taking our deliberations forward, let me first invite His Excellency Mr. Jurab Pololi Kashveli, Secretary General, United Nations World Tourist Organizations, to share his insightful thoughts with this G20 ministerial meeting. Mr. Jurabji.
No, okay. Thank you, Excellency. Honestly, we are very touched and very happy with the recognition and excellent speech and excellent vision of His Excellency Prime Minister Modi. I kindly want to ask our friends and our ministers. Warm applause again to him. I want to welcome Your Excellencies, dear colleagues. It's a pleasure to join you in incredible Goa, in incredible India. Dear Minister, dear friend Krishnan Reddy, first, on behalf of everyone at UNWTO, let me offer my sincere condolences for the recent rail disaster which happened last June. We are very touched, and again we want to express our condolences regarding what happened. The role of the global community stands with the people of India, and especially all those personally affected by this terrible tragedy. Let me now congratulate India on your commitment to tourism, sustainability and inclusion. Prime Minister Modi's Mission Mode Tourism Development and the Travel for Life initiative are examples of your government's vision. Thank you as well for your leadership of the G20 presidency. And thank you to the past presidencies, Saudi Arabia, when we started as active collaboration with G20 countries, with Italy and Indonesia last year, for also placing tourism high on the G20 agenda. Dear ministers, dear colleagues, international tourist numbers reached 80% of pre-pandemic levels in the first quarter of 2023. In the G20 economies, arrivals are back to 82% of 2019 levels. We must ensure that this is a sustainable, inclusive and resilient recovery. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals adopted by United Nations member states in 2015 provide a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet. They are shared promise by every country. But as Secretary General Antonio Guterres reminds us in the 2023 SDG Progress Report, halfway to 2030, that promise is in peril. By the way, I forgot this morning, and I want to congratulate India and all the world with World Yoga Day. I remember it because of Secretary General. I know that this morning Prime Minister Modi and Secretary General, they are practicing yoga in New York. So happy World Yoga Day. Last year, G20 leaders meeting in Bali also reminded us of the damage done by the pandemic and other challenges, including climate change. They have led to economic downturn, increased poverty, slow global recovery, and hindered in achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. Over the past months, we have worked with the G20 Tourism Working Group on the Goa Roadmap for Tourism as a vehicle for achieving Sustainable Development Goals. Again, it could not be better surprise and better gift for me and for my colleagues and all who worked on the roadmap, Goa Roadmap, as a recognition of His Excellency Prime Minister Modi mentioned in his speech and address to us. This is another very strong and important document and guideline after Bali guidelines we issued last year with the presidency of Indonesia. The roadmap is bullet around the 5 priority areas defined by the Indian presidency. First is green tourism. We were talking this morning a lot about it. Second is digitalization. Third are skills. 4 is tourism, MSMEs, and the 5th is destination management. Let me touch on each of them briefly. Firstly, making tourism more sustainable and inclusive. Accelerating climate action and circular economy is critical. Yes, this is only possible if we work together towards the same goals. In that sense, many recommended actions and good practices from G20 and guest countries are included in the roadmap. At the global level, we also have important initiatives such as One Planet Sustainable Tourism Program to accelerate sustainable consumption and production. The program is led by UNWTO in close collaboration with UNEP. At the same time, we must ensure that tourism builds equality among all people within countries and between countries. We need to empower women, youth, and local communities. Our program of tourism for rural development, inspired by the Alula framework created during the Saudi presidency, is doing just that. And I'm proud to see India replicating our best tourist villages nationally. Secondly, digitalization. Advancing digitalization will not only grow business productivity, it will make travel safer and easier, and it will improve infrastructure management and the visitor experience. Third are skills. We need to make tourism jobs more attractive. Young people should see tourism as a valued career path. Education is our priority. It was mentioned many times today, yesterday, it will be mentioned many years ahead we have. And as made clear in the roadmap, education and skills will advance equality and deliver economic growth and opportunities for all. Fourth point is tourism, micro, small and medium enterprises. MSMEs makes up 80% of all tourism businesses worldwide. In some G20 economies, it's as much as 98%. While different economies face different challenges, there are some shared priorities: financing, digitalization, market access, marketing and skill gaps. All demand target policies and financing. And finally, destination management. To really transform our sector, we need historic destination management. That means coordination between national and local policies, as well as strong public-private partnerships and community empowerment. Finally, there cannot be better management without proper measurement. We need the right data on sustainability in these three dimensions: economic, social, and environmental. The statistical framework for measuring the sustainability of tourism, which enjoys the support of UN Statistics Division, will be presented to the United Nations next year. We invite you to support these important initiatives. Dear ministers, the G20 represent around 85% of global GDP, over 75% of global trade, and 2/3 of the world population. G20 countries also welcome 74% of all international tourists in 2022. It has been an honor to work with you over the past presidencies. We now look forward and already started to work with Brazil to continue making tourism a driver of the 2030 agenda. I hope that this year, and I want to inform dear members that we are going to open and we will inaugurate together our office in Brazil. And yesterday, with the support of Minister of India, our host country, we start the process to open also and to have our presence in India probably very soon. Thank you very much. Goa roadmap for tourism as a vehicle of our achievement and sustainable development goal. I'm very proud and very happy to have here, and you have it on your table. And thank you to all who participated in a very important guideline and document for sustainable development goals. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank His Excellency